Hey guys, I just wanted to take a minute here and talk with you guys about how to get information about Amazon selling. All in all the time, I see people post really basic questions that they could probably get a much faster answer about if they just did the right thing and used the right tools to get their questions answered. So what I've done here is I've gone through and I've made a guide on how to use Facebook, how to use Google to get the answers that you want. So without further ado, here's how to do it. So this is a very common scenario. One of my favorite Facebook groups is FBA Master Group, and I'm going to show you guys how to get information from Facebook. So firstly, very powerful thing here on the side, search this group. You can search anything, okay? Now, a good example, I think, is a mark on the edge of a book. It's called a remainder mark. I know that because I sell books, but if you're new to it, you don't know what that mark is, okay? So you have, let's have a scenario here. You have a brand new book and there's a mark on the edge. What do? Well, let's find out. So book with mark on edge, let's search mark on edge of book. Good. Okay. So Jennifer here, she says, hey, if a book has a black line or a red dot, she's asking a question. Um, oh, that's a question I want to ask. Okay. Well, let's see. She asked the question. Let's get some answers here. Um, oh, do a search for remainder marks and you should find plenty of info. Okay. Well, Shane, good idea. We now know that mark on edge of book is remainder mark. So let's search that here. Okay, now Jason here, he has a video. Sean, okay, people are asking these questions. Now, my question is, okay, I have this book, it's in brand new condition. Can I sell it as new if there's a remainder mark? That's my question. I don't know. Well, I do know, but let's pretend I don't know. Okay, now, Muhammad here, he's asking, he gets an answer here from Tyler. Um, okay. Um, let's see here. We're not getting too much here. So let's just do a Google search. Okay, remainder marks. And let's search remainder marks Amazon because we want to know information about it on Amazon. Oh, well, here's a page here from the Amazon Seller Central community where they go into depth on this. But here's the real answer. Amazon.com's help their condition guidelines. So let's look here. This is straight from the horse's mouth, okay? No opinions on this. This is the best source of information. Now, we scroll down here. Oh, books. Okay, so again, my book's brand new, but it's got that remainder mark. Can I sell it as new? Let's find out. Books marked as bargain or remainder or any other labels attached may not be sold as new condition. So no, I can't. But now, what do I sell it as? Used like new? May contain remainder marks on outside edges. There we go. So I have a book with a remainder mark. It's brand new, except it's got the remainder mark. So I can list it as used like new. That's what the guidelines say. Now I have my answer to my question. And that's how you can do that. It's super easy to do that. And just in a few moments here, I've gotten this answer. I've gotten it direct from Amazon, and I know what I need to know. Okay? Real easy to do. So we're back here at FBA Master. And again, probably one of my favorite groups. And I might be a little bit biased about it, but this might be why I'm one of the admins of FBA Master. See, there's my name right there. That's proof. Somebody trusts me. Now, when somebody comes here and they ask a question, they get inundated sometimes with answers real fast. You know, just you ask a question and boom, 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 there's like 50 answers. And sometimes they'll be conflicting. Just today, I watched somebody ask a question. If an item has no rank, what does that mean? And somebody said something very incorrect. Okay, they said that Amazon doesn't share the rank on clothing. Well, that's incorrect. Okay, so how can you tell, is this good information or bad information? Does this person know what the hell they're talking about, or are they full of it? Okay, well, firstly, coming to FBA Master, we have a pinned post. Almost all the groups have some sort of pinned post, and these are names. Okay, well, if I ask a question and Chris Wilkie answers, well, he's one of the founders. John Sison, Mike Garner. These guys probably know what they're talking about. In fact, I'll go on a limb and say they definitely know what they're talking about. Now, with these people, the admins of the group, Brian, Tyler, Chris, or Jason, and myself, we also know what we're talking about. We have been made administrators and moderators because we know what we're doing. We're active in the community. We actively give back. So they've given us this little bit of recognition, I guess you would say. So if somebody asks a question and you see this badge where somebody answers the question, they probably know what they're talking about. Let's look here. Mike's asking a question now. I know Mike. Okay, Mike. I've talked to him on the phone. I've prank called him even. Okay, um, but let's look here. Well, let's come down a little bit. Rain asked a question. Matt asked a question. These people, I know Matt. I've been to his house. I played with his dog. Hey, Brian. He asked a question. Brian's an admin. Okay, so we're looking here. We see that badge, and then we can start to see people answering the questions. Brian back again. You see this little badge next to his name. Okay, well, if you ask a question and Brian answers, or anybody, and you see that admin pad or that admin badge and that moderator badge, you can make an assumption they probably are part of the community. They probably know what they're talking about. Okay, and again, looking through here, we really get this going, and you start to see people, asking questions and people getting answers from people with moderator badges, and that's a very good and helpful indicator. Now, another thing is, let's say I ask a question and somebody pops on and I don't know who they are. Let's see, Don Howard and Rebecca, or Barbara, I'm sorry. So Don, I have one mutual friend with him. I don't know who this guy is. Okay. Uh, Barbara, I got 273 friends. So she's been around a little bit. Okay. She knows what she knows what she's talking about, potentially. At least I would guess she does, because she's friends with all these people. So she probably, if she's friends with guys like Chris Grant and Shawn Michael and Brianna, they don't just let idiots be friends with them. Okay, so I'm going to assume that Barbara, if she gave me a recommendation or I asked a question, she gave me an answer, Barbara probably knows what she's talking about. In fact, I'm friends with her. I didn't even know that I was friends with her. Mike Cyril, look at this. I have 463 friends mutual with Mike Sorrell. So if I ask a question and Mike gives me feedback, chances are these people know what they're talking about. Now, what you really want to watch out for is people with no common friends and anybody that asks you to PM them. Okay. If I ask a question, okay, hey, what's the best way to get a private label product to sell better on Amazon? If I ask that, I'm probably going to get like 5 people that private message me and want to tell me, hey, this is the best way to do it. Here's this course I found. Hey, give me money. I'll tell you, that kind of stuff. Now, when somebody does that and they contact you outside of the Facebook group, it's really at your own risk. Okay. Now, I've done work with FBA Master Group where I have done affiliate work with them and offered a course through them and done work with them. Okay, and the thing is before Mike and the guys that run it would let me just willy-nilly share something, they're going to say, well, let's see it, let's read it, okay, it's good or it's bad, and yes or no based on that. They have reputation. Now when somebody comes in and they post something for sale or they try to sell a service without the admin's approval, well, that's a problem, and you have no quality control. Okay, so if you saw an FBA Master Group Mike Garner say, hey guys, here's this software, it's awesome. Okay, well, FBA Master's good, Mike Garner's good, and he's making a recommendation, you can assume it's good. But if somebody just comes in and it's somebody from Bangladesh and they're saying, hey, the software is good, well, you have no idea. Okay, and that goes true with any software. Alex Moss, he'll promote stuff in his group sometimes, and if he promotes, hey, here's Storefront Stalker, hey, here's Bulkless Builder, well, I know that Alex Moss has played with it and he knows it's good. Okay, whereas it just some random person says it, well, I don't know. Okay, so watch out, because you'll get, if you ask a question sometimes, you'll get people that friend request you, you'll get private messages, You'll get comments where people are trying to sell something. And even when it looks like it's not even a sale, sometimes you'll get that. One of the biggest things that you'll see, this is a huge scam. Somebody will post sales numbers and they'll say, hey, I sold $200,000 this week. Ask me anything. Okay. And that's great. And trust me, we appreciate that. And it's a great way to learn. But if they then start saying, hey, send me a private message. Hey, send me a private message. Or you start private messaging them and, you try to buy coaching or you try to buy mentorship and stuff like that. Number one, you don't know that that sales screenshot is actually accurate. I've seen photoshopped ones. They could have stolen them from another group. There's so many variables you don't know. You don't know that that's real. You don't know, their reputation, nothing. Okay, you really could be really wasting money. So don't do that. Okay, it's a bad idea. Any information you need, you can get from doing the search like I showed earlier or searching on Google. So at this point, we've gone through. I've showed you guys how to search, use the search feature on Facebook and Google to find your answers. I've showed you how to get some sort of some information on how connected people are. But let's talk about asking the right question. Okay, so FBA Today here, another one of my favorite groups, Chris Grant and Nate McAllister. They run a great site. So I have a product here. I have Neosporin here. I just got a tattoo done and got infected here and had to fix it. So got some Neosporin. So I have, well, on this Neosporin here, just to show you guys, actually does have a date code, but let's say it doesn't. Okay, so I don't have a date code. Now, I have these numbers, I have these lots. Well, what I need to know what the date is because I need to know when it expires. So let's ask the right question. So here's a bad question. Here says, who sells grocery? Please PM me. Okay. I'd probably actually get the answer that way. But the thing is that that's so vague. Nobody knows what you're talking about. I'm not ever going to PM somebody like this. So usually in this case, I respond with, what's the question? Okay. So now we've gone from, this big cacophony and we're not going to get the right answer real quick, but let's get the right answer. So, um, I want to sell Neosporin. There is a lot code. Let's try to actually spell some things right. Lot code, and what's the lot code? There we go. Okay, so now I've gotten my question. I've asked the real question. I need to know, what does this lot code mean? And somebody will tell me what this means. In fact, I have no idea what that lot code means. This does happen to actually just have an expiration date on it, so I don't need to really know what the lot code is. But it could be a Julian date. So if I ask that question, somebody's probably going to reply if it would have actually been a Julian date. Hey, do you know what a Julian date is? Or hey, here's how to read Julian dates, or something like that. So I'm going to get the actual answer I need. Okay. And the last bit of information I want to give you guys. If you're going to ask a question, be short, sweet, to the point. I don't have to say, hey guys, I dropped my daughter off to karate, so I went over to Walmart and I didn't find anything. But then I went over to Target and I was searching around for 5 minutes and then I found this Neosporin and I want to sell it and I haven't really sold this product before. So I got in line and I stood in line for 4 minutes and oh my God, the cashier was so cute. And then when I got home, I realized it doesn't have an expiration date on it. There's a lot code and the lot code is 0607LZ. What does that mean? Okay. We could have shortened that a little bit. So keep it short, keep it sweet. You'll get the answers you need. Okay. I hope that this helps you guys with finding the information to help your FBA businesses be as successful as possible. Have a great day. Scan everything. Make a lot of money.